everything about life is normal. Because what you're experiencing today has a root in the past life, past lives. Understand one thing, all that we are today is rooted from the past character, constitution, activity, desires, and whatever you've collected. You may not have desired to have poverty, but if you constantly express poverty in another life, means somebody asks you, are you okay? Oh, no, I'm not okay. Do you have sufficient food to eat? No, it's what food I'm eating, it's not good. So all the time when we are cribbing and not accepting what we have at that point in time, that impression gets stored in the substratum. That gets projected as your constitution for the next incarnation. So what you are experiencing now has a past. But this awareness that you have today is your future. So this is quite good that you have a future which is not stuck to this awareness of the past. Many people go through the same experience in every life. The same thing gets repeated over and over again because the impression stored at that time refuses to leave, and you water it more and more. So they grow in every life. This is why certain traumas such as fear of flying, fear of burglary in the house, fear of rape, those kind of things gets repeated because they attract it, they store it. And such fears always manifest as reality, you know. So everything what you are experiencing today has a root in the past. Be very clear about it. That is why all the masters through time has said, be happy now, be satisfied at this point. You don't have to ask God anything. If you are going to the temple, church or mosque to ask something from the God, you are only telling the God that you are not happy. You have something lacking. If you constantly express this lack of something into this universe, it will come back to you. Because universe, imagine universe is a mirror. You are telling the universe you are poor because you lack something, you want something. And when you are constantly expressing this poverty consciousness settles in. You know, and then all that comes will be poor. This is what happens. You can see very, very rich people, but they do nothing for the world. And they live in cages out of fear. You can see them. Then what happens in the next life, they actually experience that poverty. But there are people, like I used to do one of my favorite stories, one beggar who was sitting in front of the palace, and a lot of people used to come and go to the palace, and he was sitting outside the palace begging. And he used to think of what is it like to be inside this compound? And in the next birth, he was born in that palace. But his mind was still of a beggar. So if his body was new in the new environment, but the mind was still the same. So what happened? In the birth after that, he again went back to the beggarship. This is how we are collecting, assimilating, using, distributing also sometimes, and exhausting our vasanas, karmas. So we need to be always clear and flow with it. Understand that everything that happens in life has a reason. So that is why what I told yesterday, we have this prayer, you know, we surrender everything in the morning and night. This is because the more ownership you have about an activity, a thought, I do, the more you have, the impression is deeper in the system. If you say, I am doing, change it to, it's happening through me. Isn't that more real?
Yes.
Everything is happening through you. See, you cannot change the sunshine or sunrise or sunset, can you? You can't change it. You are actually living it. You are living the sunshine, the wind, the water, the rain, everything. You are experiencing all this. You can change nothing. See, if it is hot here today, it is hot here. Probably you can put the air conditioner, but that doesn't change that it's hot. So everything has a value and a role to play in our life. And it is not possible to manipulate it from our side. So acceptance of yourself is the first one. You accept as you are, with all the plus and minus. This is my reality, let it be. One problem is solved. So that you'll be looking at it from an objective point of view. This is my situation, this is my personal operating awareness and as well as the environment. Both awareness and environment are interconnected. So this is what I'm understanding or I'm aware, and this is my operating platform. This is all that I have. Right now, you can only sit in that slot, that space. You could have sat in another space in another time, but this time, this is the only space possible.